Got my hair all gussied up for you. Got a shave on, looking sharp. If you saw my last video, kind of looking a little rough. So I went in there, put a little extra tension on the hair. Got a shave. I know you guys are looking, oh man, Mr. Grouse is looking good. All right, shut up. I know you're all not saying that. Day 4. Here we go. Day 4. We're going to add and subtract. Algebra 2 style. All right, kids, here we go. Let's do a little warm-up. Let's remind ourselves something. In order to add or subtract fractions, you have to have a common denominator. Alert! Alert! Alert, alert, alert. Be aware of the trap. Let me get an explosive view on this thing. Let's do a little. Oh, it looks so much nicer all blown up. So, we have an alert because I said so. So we're going to have it. We already have a common denominator, but this problem is a little bit tricky, and it's because of this thing right there, baby. Minuses, or otherwise known as subtractions, are very, very, very tricky. You have to remember that this entire fraction is being subtracted. Now, if you remember correctly, I said we don't like negatives in the denominator, so we're not going to worry about the denominator, and what's kind of cool is they're already matched anyway, so that's nice. That's me babying you at the first. But this negative goes here, and it goes here. So what I have is, on this one I have 2 plus x over 5x. What I ask the kids to do, I ask them, I say, yo, kids, you got to do this. Change this to a plus and then change both of these signs. Well, now that I have the common denominator, remember, we don't mess with the denominator. We leave the denominator as is, but now we're going to add the numerators. So we got x and minus x. Well, they cancel. 2 and positive 2 make 4, and there's my answer. Let's go check out 2. Come here, Briscoe. So here, Briscoe, come here, baby. Come here, come here. Everybody wants to see Briscoe. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Oh, big dog. Come here. Come here, step. There you go. Hey, say hi to everybody. Don't break my stuff. Say hi to everybody. You gotta look this way. Look this way. Don't look at me. All right. Look, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's the microphone. Say hi. Okay, say hi. All right, goodbye. You're a mess. Go back upstairs. Go upstairs. Good boy. All right. Common denominator. Sorry. I love my doggy. He's cool. All right, so I need a common denominator. Some we're adding. Adding. All right. I'm going to have to get rid of him. Okay, so I think I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. Let me just check. Yep, we're back. Okay, so in order to add common, you need a common denominator, and you need the smallest number that both 2 and 3 divide evenly into. The lowest common denominator. It's either equal to the bigger one or a multiple of these. So in this case, the lowest common denominator is 6. So I had to multiply this one times 3, so you got to multiply this times 3, so you get 3D. This one I had to multiply times 2, so I got to multiply this one times 2, and I get 4D. And 3D and 4D make 7D over 6. Now, let me cheat a little bit. Let me remind you of a few things. I can take any value. Let's take 3.27 and store it into x. And if you remember correctly, I like using weird values because it normally helps out. Now, it said the sum of, what was it? D over 2 and 2D over 3. So, I used x. I should have used d, but it doesn't matter. What was it? X over 2 plus, I have no idea, I forgot. 2x over 3. 2x over 3. And you get 3.185. And we said the answer was 7d over 6. And hopefully we get the same exact value. It's easy to check your answers with these, children. Come on now. Man. Okay. So we need a common denominator. Oh, alert, alert, alert. We have a minus. Let's change this to a plus, and we'll distribute the minus. Luckily, it's only one place to distribute to. But please be on the... Forgot the word. Lookout. So my common denominator, the common denominator between 12 and 6 is 12. But I also have an x and an x squared. So whichever one has the most, that's the one that you're going to use as your denominator. In this case, it's x squared. So I'm going to have to transform each of these to make them 12x squared. Well, this one just needs to get multiplied by x. So that becomes 7x. This one needs to get multiplied by 2. So that becomes negative 2y. Keep the denominator, 12x squared, and then take care of these numerators. Now, because they don't have the same variable, obviously we can't add or subtract them. We get 7x minus 2y. So 7x minus 2y over 12x squared. There she is. So here I already have a common denominator. My common denominator is 2x plus 4. So all I have to do is keep the denominator and add the numerators. Well, x and 2x make, or negative x and 2x make x. And then 7 and 5 makes 12. Wow, that was really simple. All right, so my alert, 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 minus is here. So we'll change that to a plus and make that a minus. My common denominator, in this case, the smallest number that 4 and 3 go into is 12. So this will be 12a and 12a. This one got multiplied by 3, and this one got multiplied by 4. So this is 12, and this is negative 8. Okay. So my common, so 12a, and 12 minus 8 is 4. So 4 over 12a. Now, we don't see that here. So he said, okay, wait, I can simplify this a little bit. 4 goes into itself once, 4 goes in here 3 times. So this is really 1 over 3a. And now that I don't see that, now I go back and go, what did I do that was dumb? Okay, so what I did was dumb was, first of all, apparently none of this was necessary, because, well, 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 minus 8 is 10 over 12a, and that actually is one of the answers. Now, they could have asked it for reduced, and I could say, okay, 2 goes in here 5 times, 2 goes in here 6 times, and I could go 5 over 6a. And wait a second, that's an answer too. What's the right answer since they both work? I wonder what this means, kiddies. This is the right answer. This is the wrong answer. So here we go. This is the right answer. This is the wrong answer. Be careful. In simplest forms means you have to simplify the fraction. All right, so what's the sum of these? Well, I already have a common denominator. My common denominator is x minus 2. Keep it in parentheses so you don't do anything stupid. And in the numerator, I add those together and I get 4x squared. Wow. Tough problem. All right, let's keep moving on. Moving and grooving. What do we got here? Okay, so now we're going to get into some more difficult stuff. So, what you see here is an x and an x minus 6. If it's in the denominator, then it has to be part of the lowest common denominator. So I'm going to list out all the things that are in the denominators. There's an x, and there's an x minus 6. So my lowest common denominator then would be x times x minus 6. See, a lot of kids think because there's an x in this, that this thing and this thing are the same. They are not. Not at all. This is x, and this is x minus 6. This is some guy out here, and this is a married couple, okay? They're not together. They're not the same thing. So we have to use each part. So my common denominator in this case is x minus 6. X minus 6. So what's this one missing? This one's missing an x minus 6. So I'm going to multiply this numerator by x minus 6. And I get 5. I'll show you this easy step. 5 x minus 6. And this one's missing an x, so I have to multiply this one by x, and I get 3x. Excuse me. Well, this is really 5x minus 30. Agreed? So now we finish. X minus 6, and then 5x and 3x make 8x minus 30. Now I'm not quite done. Because I have to take a look at the numerator, and I'm going to say, okay, can I factor anything out of the numerator or denominator? In this case, the denominator is just set. It's x minus 6. Generally, you're not going to do much with the denominator. But the numerator, I can take out a 2 at least. I think just a 2. And I'm left with 4x minus 15. And since I can't do anything more simplified, you can either leave it like this or you can leave it like this. It doesn't matter. Okay, so over here, my common denominator is, now if you list out all the things that are part of the common denominators, we've got an m squared, we've got a 2, and we've got an m. Okay, so this m, because it's not adding and subtracting, can go with this m. So we don't need that. So there is my lowest common denominator, 2m squared. 2m squared. Now think about it. All I have to do is this one is multiply by 2. So I multiply this one by 2. And I get 14. This one I have to multiply by m. And I got to multiply this one by m. 5m. So my final answer is, the denominator is just 2m squared. And I could write 14 plus 5m, but to me that's just unrefined. It's not good looking. It's not normal. And the mathematical people would tell you that the numerator is not in standard form. There's your final answer. Nothing can come out of 5 and 12, so I don't have to look at simplifying it all. Alrighty, so things that are in the common denominators. Remember, every time you have a binomial, put parentheses around it so you think about it as being one item. So my first item that's in the common denominator is x plus 4. My second item is 2x minus 1. So that means my common or my lowest common denominator is both of these things. X plus 4, 2x minus 1. X plus 4, 2x minus 1. Okay, so let's see what's missing. This one here is missing a 2x minus 1. Oh, wait a second. I have a binomial in the numerator. Oh, here too. Put parentheses around them. So here I've got to multiply by 2x minus 1. Notice what I'm really multiplying by, right? This value is really just a 1. All right, so let me just write this here. It's 2x minus 1 times x minus 2. Now, I hope you get to the point where you don't have to really do that step. This one's missing an x plus 4. So I'm going to multiply this one by x plus 4. So x minus 3, x plus 4. Now I still have a lot of simplifying. I hope I gave myself a little bit of room. Oh good, I gave myself plenty of room. So in this one here, in the new, now because I have to simplify, I don't want to mess with the denominators. It's just x plus 4, 2x minus 1. I'm not going to double distribute that, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay. The common denominator is this, but I have to double distribute this stuff. I have, because I'm going to want to clean it up and combine it with this stuff. So this is 2x squared minus 4x minus x. Now, if you don't like that, you could write minus 5x right away, and then plus 2. And over here, I get x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12. So let's see what I can combine. I got this and this. That gives me, well, now that I'm ready to add, my common denominator is x plus 4, 2x minus 1. There's my common denominator. Now I'm just going to combine all of this stuff here. And I'll put it all together in one big numerator. So that gives me 3x squared. Now minus 4x and plus 4x, they cancel. So that leaves me negative 4x. Now why is it negative 4x? Because it's this and this put together give me negative 4x. And then plus 2 and minus 12 make minus 10. Well, I need to look to see if I can continue to factor. I don't think the numerator factors, but I have to look. And if I can. So it's got to be 3x and x. 5 and 2. If I put a 5 here and a 2 here, this gives me 6 and this gives me 5. That's not going to give me 4. All right, so if I put the 5 here and 2 here, that's going to give me 15, and 2, that's not going to give me 4. If I put the 10 here and the 1 here, this will give me 3 and this will give me 10. That's not going to give me 4. And if I put the 10 here and the 1 here, that's not going to work. So there's my answer in its most simplified form. All right, once again, I'm going to put parentheses around anything that's being added or subtracted or my denominator. So my common denominators, the things that are in my common denominator, have to be the x and the x minus 4. Hopefully you're getting good at this. So, plus. My common denominator is x minus 4. X minus 4. So this one's missing an x. So I end up with an x squared. This one's missing an x minus 4. This one's missing an x minus 4. So I'm actually going to distribute right here. I'm going to get 2x minus 8. So now that I have a common denominator, I'm going to keep the denominator. Don't distribute, just leave it. Leave it in its factored form. That's what we're looking for. I want it in its factored form. Because there's no way to simplify if it's not in its factored form. So just leave it. In the numerator, I get x squared plus 2x minus 8. But I have to look to see if this can be factored. I think it can. So, x and x, they have to multiply to negative 8, which means one's got to be positive and one's got to be negative, and add up to positive 2. So that would be x plus 4 and x minus 2. Nope, they don't simplify. They do not simplify because these cannot cancel. Just because they look a lot alike, just because this looks like this, they cannot be canceled. So, this, you can leave it in either way. Either way is fine. But that's it. That's all you're done. I mean, that's all you're done. That's not even English. But that's all you have to do. Let's try this one. So before I can talk about common denominators, I have to factor. They have to be in their factored form. Okay? Because you really don't want to make your common denominator x squared plus 4x plus 4 and x squared minus 4. That doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to factor them. This one is x plus 2, x minus 2. This one is x plus 2, x plus 2. So let's list out all the things that are in the denominators. I have an x plus 2, an x minus 2, I have an x plus 2. I have two x plus 2s. I have two x plus 2s. That means I need another x plus 2. See, you have to take the minimum amount. There's 2 here and only 1 here. So that's my common denominator. 2 x plus 2s and an x minus 2. So my common denominator is 2 x plus 2s and an x minus 2. 2 x plus 2s and an x minus 2. All right, so what's this one missing? Well, this one is just missing the x minus 2. So I'll distribute 2x minus 4. This one is missing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's back up the crazy train, Kraus, man. What are you doing? First of all, that didn't even write right. All right. I think, let me get rid of that circle. I'll get rid of that circle. Okay. So this one is missing an x plus 2 to make it look like this. This one is the one that's missing an x minus 2. I apologize. So this one I'm going to multiply by x plus 2. So I get 2x plus 4. This one's missing an x minus 2, so I'll multiply by x minus 2. I don't know why. I'm having more troubles. That's an x minus 2. Just think about it that way. So I end up with 3x minus 6. Now I have to combine like terms, so I get 5x minus 2, put in parentheses, all over x plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 2. Now, there's nothing to factor out of the numerator, so you are, in fact, finished. That's it. Oh, there'll be a couple to simplify, I believe. All right, we got 3 left. Thought there was another one on that page. I was wrong. There she is. Alert! Alert! Crazy person, crazy person. Don't miss it. Here it is. It's a plus sign and move the minus. Otherwise, you will screw up. The denominators both need to be factored. So let's see. I can take an x out of this, and I'm left with an x minus 3. I can take a 2 out of this, and I'm left with an x minus 3. So let's list all the things that are in the common denominator. One of them is an x minus 3. That's obvious. One is a 2, and one is an x. Those are all the things that are in the common denominator. So that's our common denominator. 2x, x minus 3. 2x, x minus 3. So let's see. This one has an x minus 3, but it's missing the 2. So we multiply by 2, I get 8. This one has the 2. This one has the x minus 3, but it's missing the x. So we'll multiply by x. So my numerator is 8 minus 3x all over, keep it in parentheses, 2x, x minus 3. And since there's nothing to factor out of the numerator, that's your answer. I think these last two have alert, alert, some simplifying to do. First thing I'm going to take care of immediately is this is a plus. Now, this minus is going to get distributed here and to here. Don't forget that. That's the tricky part. So this becomes a plus, minus, and a plus. And everything that's in a binomial or everything that's being added, subtracted should be in parentheses. All right. Let's factor. You know, you're going to have to factor. This is x minus 3, x minus 6. Probably one of those at least is going to match here. X minus 4, x minus 6. So all the things that are new, we have an x minus 6, we have an x minus 4, and we have an x minus 3. There's only one x minus 6. So there's my common denominator right there, kids. X minus 3, x minus 6, and x minus 4. And this one already has an x minus 6 from this, so I don't need two of them. If there were two x minus 6's in a denominator, then I would need 2. But the most any one of these has is 1, so I only need 1 in my common denominator. So x minus 3, x minus 6, x minus 4. So let's see what each piece is missing. This one is missing the x minus 4. So we'll multiply this numerator times x minus 4. This one is missing the, looks like x minus 3. So we're going to multiply this one by x minus 3. But I'm going to write this one out because it's not as easy. It's minus x plus 2 times x minus 3. So I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to do the math right here for you. These two give me negative x squared. And then I get plus 3x. That's this. And this. And then these two give me plus 2x and then minus 6. So now that I have all of that stuff ready, I'm ready to combine like terms. Now the denominator is x minus 3, x minus 6, x minus 4. Now the numerator, I'm going to start lopping stuff off. Let me go to blue. This is going to cancel with this. Now I've got minus 4x and plus 5x. That's just x. And then I've also got a minus 6 here. Now remember, keep it in parentheses. Now, as you look at it now, do I have a common factor on the top and the bottom? I sure do. And if I cancel, this divides evenly into this. Now, what an untrained student will do, like a monkey, they'll go, oh, the answer is x minus 3, x minus 4, because that's the only thing that's left. But where is it? It's in the denominator. If it's in the denominator, then it's got to remain in the denominator. Well, if that's true, what do I have left over on the top? And remember, this cancels with this, but it makes a 1. So 1 is left over on the top. One last problem, kids, and then we are done with day 4. And I left a doozy of a problem. Looks like fun. Alert! Alert! We have a minus. There is a minus sighting. Do not screw up. So this minus is going to convert plus, minus, plus. It's a binomial. Put in parentheses. This is a binomial. This is a binomial. This is a trinomial, but we do have this minus. We have to distribute it up here. All right, factor. Well, there's nothing to do there. This one is a plus b, a minus b. This one's going to be a little funky. A and a. Now we got minus 2b squared. So minus and a plus. So minus 2b plus b, because that would give me minus 2b squared. And if you look at it, this is plus ab and this is minus 2ab, which gives me minus ab. So that's the factoring. So now I'm going to highlight all the things that are different. I got an a minus 2b. I've got an a plus b. I got an a minus b. In this one, I already highlighted an a minus 2b, and I already highlighted an a plus b. So this one doesn't offer anything new. There's nothing new here. Okay, so that's not. So what is my common denominator? My common denominator is all 3 of those things. And let me get it so you can actually see away from my head. So my common denominator is a minus 2b, a plus b, a minus b, a minus 2b, a plus b, a minus b, a minus 2b, a plus b, a minus b. So this one's missing 2. I'm just going to show you the work. It's missing both of these. A plus b, A minus B. This one's just missing the A minus 2B. And this one is missing just the A minus B. Alrighty. Now, let me blow up a little bit on this. I'll take each piece individually. So this one here, well, if I multiply these two things out, don't I get A squared minus B squared? I do. So now I'm going to distribute the 2. By the way, my common denominator is, whoa, what the devil? No, that's not even a line. So my common denominator is A minus 2B, A plus B, A minus B. All right, so this one's going to give me 2A squared minus 2B squared. This one I got to double distribute here. So this is going to give me minus A squared plus, this gives me plus 2AB. And this one gives me plus AB. Now let's slide over. Minus 6AB plus 6B squared. Okay. So let me zoom out a little bit just so I know you can see. So my common denominator is, don't multiply anything out, leave it, A minus 2B, A plus B. I know this seems like a lot of work. It's just mundane stuff. You're just multiplying by common denominators. You got to be careful of your signs. So let's see. Let me get my tools out. This is going to combine with this, and that will give me A squared. Now I'm going to combine all of the AB stuff. This is AB, AB, AB. All this stuff is AB stuff. So that's 3 minus 6. So that's minus 3AB. And then if I combine these two things, I get plus 4B squared. Now, I'm relatively certain that that numerator can be factored. So the denominator I'm not touching. It's A minus 2B, A plus B, A minus B. If it's going to factor, it's going to be A and A. Both of these are going to be minus. Now they got to multiply to 4 and add up to 3. I don't think anything multiplies to 4 and adds up to 3. 4 and 1. If that was a minus, it would be fine. It would be great if that was a minus, but it's not. I wish I could change that problem. How could I change that problem? Don't think I can. Anyway, this does not factor. So there's your answer. And we are done. Yay! Hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave me a comment. Tell me how good looking I am. Okay, don't lie to me. I don't want to lie. Don't lie to me. That would just make me mad. All right, guys, hit the subscribe button. Take it easy. We got a great, great, great rest of the year. Peace out, sisters and brothers. Bye.